I've got to tell you about Southampton's very own Creeper. I have, since 2010, probably since a couple of albums came out in 2010, Ghost, if you ever, Ghost, a band who came in with a kind of visual concept and an auditory perspective that they just nailed first time round, and then they only got better. Well, their third album got better. Second was a Creeper are a band that they're a rock band. They're a punk rock band. They're a goth rock band. There's even elements of fucking emo and pop punk and pop rock. They're a very, very pop centric band. They sound, to call these songs earworms doesn't even do them justice. These latch onto your ears like fucking leeches. These are the catchiest songs I've heard.
I've never heard that before.
Okay, well, they are, but horror punk in the vein of something like Misfits or, whatever. They've been easily compared to bands like My Chemical Romance, if they were a good band, or AFI, who are like my faves. There's a lot of similarities there, but there's as much similarity between those kind of punk bands and goth bands, and there's a lot of The Cure in there, but there's also as much inspiration from stuff like Queen and fucking, I don't know, obviously The Cure, but Queen and David Bowie and these kind of flamboyant rock stars. The frontman's a guy called Will Gould, and I have never seen someone that commands what he's singing with such absolute conviction as this guy from the word go. They have a visual style, they have a sound style. They're inspired from, some of their songs are pretty hardcore punk, some of them are just straight up pop rock that you could hear on the most mainstream of radios. They are off the chain. I have not heard a better album this year. Even with my favorite band Mastodon releasing an album in 2 days, I don't see how it's going to beat this, because this has surprise. This has
big coming from you.
This has the element. Yeah, if anyone's been following the albums of the day, I've been doing Mastodon week in the lead up to Mastodon's new record. But Creeper are going to be my first record of the day once I've done Mastodon, and expect to hear me splooge all over this record. But for you, there's acoustic numbers on this. There are kind of, there's an acoustic country track which is done by the kind of backing vocalist Hannah Greenwood, which has this lovely dynamic between the kind of male voice and the female voice. You've got kind of emo crooners like Misery, which has this kind of key line, which Misery's never goes out of style. But these songs are so damn catchy, and you've got the opening single, Black Rain, is one of the catchiest songs I've ever heard. Suzanne is literally just like the most triumphantly catchy rock song I've heard all year. Misery's a wicked song. Room 309 is just a proper punk song. This is the thing. They throw a lot into the witch's brew of what is their sound.
And they're just hitting everything.
They're doing it. Everything sticks. It's like they throw in glam rock, it sticks. They throw in, Bowie or Roxy Music style crooner, new wave music, it sticks. They throw in hardcore punk, it sticks. They throw in a bit of country, it sticks. These guys have, on their first go around, they've released 3 EPs. So they've been playing and touring and working out how they gel as a band for a while. It is incredible that a band can do an album this good on their first go around. I have one gripe, which is the opening of Black Rain, which is the opening song on the album, has this really, for me, cringy and emo-centric little bit of spoken word dialogue for about 20 seconds at the beginning that just grinds my gears a little bit. It's not what I want to hear at the beginning of an incredible banger. Every song is a banger on this album. I cannot praise these guys enough. And they're from Britain, and I mark my words, these guys are going to be the biggest rock band in the UK by the end of the year. By the time their second album comes out, you will not be able to
Not listen.
hear or see for Creeper.
Creepers. Oh, I don't know if they'll stick with their logo though.
I like their logo. What, the pink Creeper?
Yeah.
I love it. They've got an aesthetic. They're very inspired, obviously, by bands like Misfits. The early, probably pretty much the first example of horror punk, which is you who don't know anything about punk or horror punk, or if you type in Misfits, you'll know the logo. The logo has become synonymous with young emo punk kids. It's a skull that is very, very iconic.
Yeah,
and
maybe I have seen that before.
have you typed in Misfits? You will have seen.
I just know it,
Yeah, 100% you'll know. I bet you £1 million. Anyway, Creeper off the chain. That's all I want to say about it. I'm done. Peace out, motherfuckers.
See ya.
Drop mic. I don't know.
Don't drop it, you'll break it.
Yeah, I give it a fucking 9.5. I'll give it a 10. Oh, I'll take that back.
Oh, you give it a 10?
No.
You never
I don't
gives
give it a
out
10.
10.
The only reason I'm not going to give it a 10
It's because of that start.
Is because partly because of that start, but that would be really pedantic. But it's because I want to allow them room to get better, if they can.
Okay.
Maybe it all goes downhill from here. Maybe they just suckle at the mainstream teat and, just become a 1975 or one of these, big, what the media is telling us is rock music today, but it's just, the same kind of commercialized, packaged pop music that's just getting rammed down everyone's throats. Maybe they do that. Maybe this is the unbeatable high that they can't do better than. But I'm hoping this is like Ghost, like I don't know, any other number of band, Baroness, or fucking whatever, whoever else, like the old ones, like Metallica, or I don't care, Black Sabbath. I'm hoping this is where they start, and they only got up to go from here.
Let's pray.
Yeah, mate.
That's all we can do. Let's just hope it's not a fluke.
It's not, because the thing is, their EPs have shown enormous, catastrophically high potential.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can then, and it's paced perfectly. The album flows like no album I've heard all year. From start to finish, there's ups, there's downs, there's quiet moments, there's loud moments. The way the songs are structured is so inspired. The hooks, the choruses are enormous. The way Will belts these tunes, you just buy it. You're invested by what he's putting into what he's shouting, what he's singing, and it sounds fantastic. Good.
That's a pretty solid review.
Mate, that's been a review special, that has.
It was special. It was, you got 2 9 out of 10s / 10 out of 10.
Easily. They're both, if I gave out 10s, they'd both be 10s.
So you pretty much just did give them 10s.
No, I think we should stick to a 5-star rating, because then, they're both those. Get Out of film is a 5. Creeper out of 5 is a 5, hands down.
And Power Rangers,
Power Rangers, you gave a solid 3-star to.
It's worth watching. Hey.
I'm excited. Let's just give a little sneak peek of what's going to be happening. We are both going to be seeing Ghost in the Shell.
And we're going to review it. You're
going to have unadulterated, straight up reactions. We're both going to be bouncing off each other. We're going to see, will we like it? Won't we like it? You'll be able to get that on the full podcast. We're going to put it on YouTube. So we're going to be branching out into that space. We're going to have another album of the day every day. Tomorrow's going to be the last of Mastodon's currently released albums.
No.
Once Around the Sun. That's on the 30th, which is also when we'll be seeing Ghost in the Shell. So expect a review of that very quick after. And then on Friday the 31st, Mastodon's new album, Emperor of Sand, which I am rock hard and
already
shimmeringly wet for.
It's okay, because Ghost in the Shell is going to set you up to, with
well, I don't know.
hardness.
I went back and watched the original Ghost in the Shell, which I'd seen many years ago, but I whacked it out on Blu-ray, and watch that again to kind of prep myself for it. Still great, still really, really good. We'll probably talk a bit about where it came from and
I need to prep.
you don't have, well, I've seen the original Ghost in the Shell a number of times. You haven't, I imagine.
I have not.
Let's leave it at that, and then we can see what the film does for us. We can talk about how it worked for you as a standalone, how it worked for me jumping off the source material.
Okay,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
Ghost in the Shell 2 here, which I have never seen, but I bought it on DVD, so I'm going to give that a go as well afterwards. But yeah, that's. I'm also going to be seeing the new Korean big budget spy war film called Age of Shadows, which is by my absolute favorite Korean director who did I Saw the Devil, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, and many more. So I'm very excited about that.
Are you hard again for it?
We will see. We will see how that all goes down. Korean cinema is the shit, and I'm hoping this one delivers. What's Kim Ji-woon? Anyway, if anyone's interested in that, he is a director of.
He's the leader of the North.
Sure. No, South Korean films. Yeah, let's make that clear. These are South Korean films. North Korean, probably a bit too much propaganda.
Only a bit.
Yeah.
I heard they're not too bad anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I heard it in my own dream.
Oh, you keep telling yourself that. Well, I'm happy. Are you happy?
I'm happy.
Good. We hope everyone else is happy.
Squirrels out.
Squirrels? How I take that.